Okay, is it working now? Give it over here. You give it over here. Drop it. Just technical difficulties. So, long story short, a while ago, the whole solar system failed. I had to get a new. I got a better charge controller than I did initially, but the charge controller I got, I should have waited even longer to get a new one and just live without power for a bit and saved up some money. But the one I got is failing. The one I'm currently, the charge controller I'm using is failing. It's a 50 amp charge controller, so I'm not even using my solar to the maximum. But the controller I got is now it's on its last legs, so it's not really charging the batteries properly. It's so damp here, and it wasn't sealed like watertight, so some of the dampness and stuff got into it, and it's gonna die very soon. It's just unfortunate. It is what it is. The first one was crap. I cheaped out on it. Should have went big from the beginning. I got a really good quality lower amperage one, and this one is just failing on me because again, the way it was designed, all the electrical components are exposed, and it's very wet up here, so some dampness settled into it, and she is on its last legs. So what I've been doing to get by the days with power, so I've always got a little bit of power, is I've been running the sunny days like this. I'm charging my regular batteries, which aren't properly charging, stealing that charge into two 50 amp hour marine batteries, where I directly run the inverter off of on for the internet when I don't have good sun coverage or when I don't have the power. And she is what she is. And all that happened was the batteries died, so my cell phone signal booster didn't have the power. Blah blah blah. No power. Just went over there, grabbed my the card, my jump kit for a car, hooked it up to the battery, hooked it, and that's already hooked onto the inverter. It wired up, and I've got power for the next 3.5, 4 hours off of the one battery, maybe 3 hours off of the other battery. It is what it is. It sucks, but I'll that'll be the next thing I save for is he'll call me over again in like 2 3 months to do some in a month or so to do the next set of 10 of the cabins. I'll do that, and I'll put that money towards a new. If it's $500, I'll spend $500 on a charge controller. I won't. I'll go the best that you could possibly get, so I don't have any more problems. But that is what it is. It is. It is. Shit happens. I'm honestly getting by more than you could possibly believe. Life is good. Everything keeps dying. And I see my neighbor. He's coming up to probably check what happened. I think he was trying to charge something. Hey, man! The battery thing, it completely died. It's now running off of, I'm running it off the trailer, off of the lead acid. Everything shut down. Oh, I didn't buy it cheap the second time. The second time I bought a very good quality one. It's just not the best quality. It's not that it's not connected. It's literally dying. It's not pulling in the power. The charge controller has died officially. She did. Yeah, no. I didn't buy. The second time didn't buy cheap. The second time was fairly good. It's just moisture does its thing. I need to get one that is on the higher end, that is rated for moisture, because there's this is a very wet area, And yeah, oh no, my neighbor came to come over and check what's going on because he I've got an antenna on he's I've got the thing where my signal booster is, and he bounces a radio signal off of it, and his radio stopped working, I guess. But it also makes it so we can get radio in the area. Unfortunately, that's the best we got though. Yeah, shit happens. Shit happens. I'll eventually get it figured out. Good thing is again, I'm hoping the guy hasn't. It's so again the way things are done up here is so freaking weird. If they watch you for something, they just you need the inverter. The inverter is what you pull power off of. The inverter inverts the DC into AC, or vice versa, depending the inverter, I guess. You need that to run the charge to run the anything like you normally plug in. The thing I don't need, I need more. The inverter itself is fine. That's just to convert the power. I need is the charge controller. You have to have a charge controller. It pulls in. You have to have a charge controller for the solar panels. There's no built-in inverter. It's completely DC. Um, so the plugs in the trailer don't work unless you're running off of a generator. It has its own charge controller, but that's its own thing. Then there is the other system that I'm not. It's so whack. I've got an inverter that works. It's not the inverter, it's the charge controller. So you got the solar panels, go to the charge controller. The charge controller goes to the batteries. The batteries go to the inverter. The charge controller isn't working properly, so the electricity coming from the whatchamacallit, the solar panels isn't really getting delivered to the charge. It's getting delivered to the charge controller, but the charge controller is not sending it all the power where it needs to go to the batteries, unfortunately. Um, so the first one I got was about 150 bucks at a 100 amp hour one. That's really 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 dirt cheap for a charge controller, especially at 100 amps. I made a mistake in getting that one. I should not have got that one. Second one, I had $300 I spent on a 50 amp one, and it's a great one. It worked great, but again, they didn't have there's one design flaw with it is it didn't have a moisture barrier. So moisture got into the electrical components because it's very wet out here, very foggy during the mornings, and there's problems with the circuit board, so she's no good. I have to get one that is higher amperage, that is also got a barrier for the moisture in it, but that'll be later. Yeah, I can still charge my stuff as I am right now. Everything works. I will eventually get one when I save up for it. He's just using the cheapest of cheap charge controllers, and they're not cheap. If I go up, yeah, I could probably get one off of him. I think no, I don't think. I know the ones he's using are 30 amps, the most basic charge controller you can get. And even the one I'm using now, the broken one, is better. But it's even then he'll charge me for it. He won't give it for free. He's a business. He'll give it to me for cost, and still cost for him will still be at least $100, $150. I need to do more work for him the next time and take that cash, spend the $500 on an 80 amp charge controller that has the moisture barrier, and instead get the best I can possibly get so I never have problems anymore. But that'll be a future problem. That's a future problem, not a now problem. Right now, I'm more concerned about when the frick my friend gets here, my neighbor gets here, because we're going to town and gonna get some more wood, because he wants to block off the bottom area of his outhouse so it's all contained, his indoor outhouse. And he wants to build a box over the secondary bladder that collects the gas so it's safe from the elements. And that is just waiting for him to do it, to get here. And that'll be probably do that work tomorrow. Right, Moo Moo? So, anyways, let's get into some of the news going on in Toronto and Ontario. So, did you know right now, still in Southern Ontario, well, I was in Southern Ontario, there has been a ban. In fact, mostly across the country, there is currently a fire ban. Not only that, there is a forest ban. So you're not even allowed to go in the forest of Southern Ontario. You will be fined of $10,000 and do some jail time right now if you just enter the forest, because the forest fire, warnings and bans. So if you want to feel like you want to go for a walk right now in the forest in wherever, Toronto or GTA or anywhere Southern Ontario, they've got wardens and police patrolling the areas, arresting people, issuing $10,000 fines. It's not like, walking is going to set a fire. It's not, the chick in the yoga pants, his ass isn't going to clap so hard it produces a spark and burn down the forest. But I'm getting to that is the real reasoning behind doing that in Southern Ontario is to crack down on homeless people. Straight up, homeless people. It's not to prevent the forest fire. It is to prevent the forest fires, but it's being used in a very negative way to arrest and incarcerate homeless people. I had been reading about that, like, yeah, I'm not homeless anymore, but I still give a shit. Yeah, no, it's being used as a way to get a homeless person $10,000 or incarcerate them. Yeah, there's been a lot of instances in the GTA that it's been used to its advantage in, like, the Taylor Creek area, to find these homeless encampments, get rid of the guy living in there in the tent, or get rid of the people living in the tent, put them in handcuffs, cart them away, and clean up their city. Instead of offering assistance to the homeless, they're incarcerating homeless or ticketing a homeless person 10 grand for just trying to find a place to exist. That's what it's all about. And it's happening more and more and more. Even if you go, like, I'm fortunate I was up where I was there. We just had a fire ban. There was none of that. Never got to the red zone or beyond. But imagine that happening last year. If this was last year, I was in Sudbury still, on Crown Land. If this was last year, they would have come in and carted my ass away. Because where I was, that has taken effect is they patrol the areas there. They look for pathways for anybody on there and arrest and fine. Well, Xavier, I'm glad you're a student. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I know there's a lot of problems with homeless. Like, I'm very fortunate. When I was homeless, I wasn't. I wasn't. I'm still not addicted to anything. I don't do drugs. I very, very, very rarely drink. But to be the truth, I understand why there's a general issue with homeless people, because addiction is a real thing amongst the community, but they're still human beings. It's such a slippery slope, and the government using little tricks like this to solve their problem and incarcerate the problem is disgusting. Instead of, cracking down and getting some real treatment, like, I'm not just saying addiction treatment, I'm saying mental health treatment, because I don't care if you don't have mental health problems and you're on the street. Being on the street causes mental health problems as well. Mind you, a lot of people with mental health problems end up on the street. And people who are on the street without mental problems end up with mental health problems. Straight up, when I got out of homelessness, I've walked out with PTSD, straight up PTSD. But I got a dog that I love and can deal with that. Well, Xavier, it gets even worse. If you've ever lived on the street, there's a lot more to look out for, too. I got into a few arguments about it, but there are several, in Ontario, there's several operating cults. When I say cults, I mean real freaking cults, where they target young homeless people. They offer them not just food and assistance, but a place to sleep and some work to get them back on their feet. And it's a real thing. You see their white vans driving around, and they will convince a younger homeless person. You're talking between the ages of 18 and 35. I still say I'm young. I'm 37. Don't hurt me. And they get into their little white van and are never seen again. Or they are seen again months later, a lot skinnier than they were before, and worked to the bone and back on the street. But now they're wise to what happened. They're a literal cult. They're a work cult, in fact. They it's not abduction because you're going with them willingly, because they're offering help and it looks like it's an official capacity. But what they're doing is they're taking you from the city, they're throwing you into one of their work camps where you're going to get a bunk bed, and yeah, they're going to feed you, but they're going to work you to their trick homeless people into coming with them, and they're in the middle of nowhere. So if they do leave the area, they've got like a 12-hour walk to the nearest highway kind of deal. They're not getting out, and they're worked as farm labor on like these damn pot farms. It's a fucking cult. It's disgusting. Yeah, exactly. You're worked to the bone. I spoke to a few people when I was homeless in Toronto that had been caught up in that. They got caught there for 6 months until they finally figured that they got to get the fuck, they got the balls together to get the fuck out of there, get out of there, walk away. They're not forced to stay, but it's not easy to leave and walk down for like the 12 hours to the highway and thumb a ride back to the city. It's a hard thing to do when you're in the middle of nowhere and lost until you figure out what to do. But it's not only that. There are groups, I don't want to call them religious groups because they're not religious groups, but there are groups of people, especially in Toronto, that walk around the areas of homeless camps or the Don Valley Parkway that give away nothing to really help the homeless person, more to hurt. Like they're giving away weed gummies, straight up pot and all that crap. I'd been approached by them a couple times when I was in Toronto. Man, I don't want your weed gummy. Give me a sandwich, not a freaking pot. I don't need your pot. Xavier, you should really, really look into, if you're going to look into homelessness, look into all sorts of homelessness because there's several sets of homelessness. Like, there are the homelessness you see, there's the homeless you see, the homeless people you sort of see, and the homeless people you never see that you don't know are homeless. Usually the hyper vigilant, the hyper visible ones are the ones you, they're the ones that have the most issues. They're the ones that are walking down the street, taking their pants off, screaming at every single person, doing the fent lean, all that stuff. They're the hyper visible one, and that's the general image of homelessness, is some crazy guy completely dirt from head to toe, holding his ding-a-ling, screaming at cars as they go by. Come here. If you want me to throw it, you have to hand it to me. I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him yet. It is Monday, so he'll probably be out today. If anything, there'll be a forced restraining order on, and he'll probably have to get a hotel or something. All I know is I haven't seen anybody today. I've been out since early in the morning working. My meds are going to be paid off for October. I'm happy. My neighbors are in their spot. They are doing whatever work they are over there. I think they're probably cleaning it up because they've got a chainsaw. So they're probably cutting down the stuff we cut down and making the place a little bit more livable. I don't know. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did. I just know what I do know is there was a fight going on there. The neighbors got fed up with them constantly fighting. They called the police, and they took him away. So I want to say a domestic dispute, domestic assault, something crazy that I wasn't there to see. I just I had the opportunity to speak to his girlfriend yesterday, and I understand why his when I got here he was okay to deal with. It was no crazy crap, but he moved her in like 3 4 months ago. 3 months ago, he has been since she got here. He's been going crazier and crazier, and what I believe is going on is it's a very tumultuous relationship that's making him lose his freaking mind. Like when I first met him, he was okay. I had my issues with him when I first met him, but he was okay to deal with. I tried to be friends with him. Then he moved his girlfriend in, and it just started getting more and more bleh from him. Right, Moose? I caught you now. Oh, I caught you now. Guess what? Moose is making her first appearance of the day. How you doing, Moose? See, this is what she normally looks like after she's been brushed and cleaned up. Xavier, I did not get her when I was homeless. That's something I would never have done to an animal if I didn't have a place to live. In fact, I didn't really have plans on getting a dog when I got this dog. I had been living in my camper for I'd been living up here for about a month when I got her. Maybe 5 weeks. I got, oh, yeah, about 5 weeks. And my neighbors saw me start going, that I was going a little bit crazy. Cabin fever, loneliness. It's very, very, you don't see many people up here. You don't get opportunities to hang out. And they brought over, he had a friend that had some puppies to give away. They brought the litter over, and I had no intention on taking one. I was fighting off taking one. And then this little shit here, Moose, she doesn't want any part of that chaos of the other puppies, walks away from them, sits on my foot, and just looks up at me. And I knew I was screwed. She's been here the day after I went and picked her up. She's been here ever since. But I'd never get a dog if I was homeless because that's the cruelest thing you can do to an animal. Her name is Moose. She's a very smart, good girl. And this is what she looks like after she's been brushed and all fancied up. See, she doesn't look like a gremlin right now. She got all the poofiness like she should. That's what she looks like before she goes running in the mud and the bushes. Right, Moose? I know. Drop it and I'll throw it. Good girl. Go get it. And she will, she will play fetch for as long as I'll throw it. Non-stop. She's a mutt. Oh, no, not she does. I'll show you what she'll do right now. She's gonna come with it, put it on the ground, and then just like start poking at it. Just wait. See, she's trying to give me the hint. See, she's eyeballing me because I'm not getting the hint. She's like, hello, like, I'm waiting. Throw the damn thing. You want me to throw it? Is this what you want? Is that what you want me to throw it? See, she can't speak with words, but she can communicate. She is gone. Throw it, drop it. Go get it. And again, if it wasn't so up here, this far north is kind of cheap to live. If it wasn't so cheap to keep the dog, I've got a vet that she only charges like $40 a visit, exactly $40 a visit. And a lot of the time she'll do shots and blood work for free because she's also got her horse breeding business and her dog grooming business all in the same place. She's a really good vet, so she's cheap to keep. Same with her food. For 3 months worth of her food, it costs $20. I get it from the Mennonite, and you're gonna be like $20 for 3 months worth of food. It's an 80-pound bag of food, and you're thinking, oh, that can't be quality food. You're wrong. You are absolutely freaking wrong. You cannot get better quality than the quality of food she has. They make it on site there with meat scraps from their butchery, like actual meat scraps from chicken, pork, and beef, lots and lots of that. They dry it all out in their smokehouse. They turn it into a powder. They do the same thing with vegetables. I believe it's 1/3 vegetables, 2/3 meat. And they bind it together with beef tallow, put it in the little molds, and let it dry over like an hour, pop it out of the molds, and bag it. And the women there make it in the barn. I've watched them make it in the barn where you go pick it up. And put it this way is same guy I pick up from the wood from. His dog has eaten that her whole life. She's a German Shepherd, and he said she's going on 21 years old. She's an old dog too, sweet dog. But they got to be doing something right. The food has to be quality for a German. Well, in all honesty, yeah, it's pretty damn close to human grade food. I'll be honest with you. I may or may not have, mostly may have, popped one in my mouth to try it. And it's tasty, man. It doesn't taste like regular dog food. It doesn't taste like shit. It tastes good. And again, it's quality. I know, usually the bigger the dogs, like, it's rare for a German Shepherd to get over like 15. Usually the bigger of the. That's not who I think it is it? No freaking way. Kari's back. My neighbor's home. I haven't seen my neighbor for a while. Freaking Corey's home. Yeah. Well, for her dentistry, I get the pork bone. Sorry, the cow bone, the leg and the femur. I get that from the butchery. They're good quality things too. They've been smoked, and she's been going at one now. She's got 3 of them, but she hasn't touched the 2 newer ones. She's still trying to kill the old one. She's been going on the one for about 3 months now. The bone was bigger than her, but she loves the damn thing. She's pulled out the marrow of the other 2, but I think she wants to finish the first one before she starts moving on. Oh, I got the Bort. I got the food. The dog food is from the Mennonite. Uh, they're the Mennonite town is like Valgagne. We make a trip up there every so often for the neighbors to pick up wood. I go talk to the Mennonite and go right up to their barn and say, hey, can I grab a bag of dog food? And they say $20, and they hand you a big bag of dog food. It's in a burlap sack and everything, but I did a video on a bunch of shorts on the Mennonite up there and the wood. They've got a wood cutting place, and people got mad at me saying, "Though they're not Mennonite, they're Amish because they're in a horse and buggy." No, they're Mennonite. Yes, they're in a horse and buggy. Some of them uses horse and buggy. Some of them uses a truck that have no chrome on it. They've got their tractors there too, and they've got electricity running their sawmills and all that jazz. They're the Mennonite. They're not Amish. In fact, it's a Mennonite town. I'd say it's about an hour and a half drive from here. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half drive to the farms and whatnot where you get it all, and the wood. It'd be a lot faster, but to get down to where they are, it's very, very narrow dirt roads covered in horse crap. You have a good one. Go, Moosey Moo. Okay, good. That's done. That's done. I'm just waiting to hear the car come down the road. Once that happens, do you want that moose? Do you want that moose? I know. You enjoy work. Take it easy. Oh, bugger. Well, I think it's time for me to head out. My buddy's coming down the road now, so I'm going to go help him out. Thanks for joining me. A short stream, but fun stream. I will see you guys next one. Take care. Bye-bye.